Have you ever met someone who seems unstoppable? Someone who keeps moving forward, no matter what life throws at them? Here's a truth that might surprise you. It's not always about talent or luck. It's something much deeper. Today, we're going to explore that hidden power. And it lives inside Sagittarius. Most people think Sagittarius is just adventurous, free-spirited, always chasing the next thrill. But that's only the surface. Beneath that wild energy, Sagittarius hides 18 powerful weapons. Psychological strengths, emotional tools, inner strategies that help them not just survive, but conquer life. What if I told you, those same strengths could change your life too? Whether you're a Sagittarius or not. These 18 insights will open a door to your own potential. In this video, I'll show you how Sagittarius transforms their natural traits into real-life weapons. How their curiosity becomes a survival skill. How their sincerity turns into emotional power. And how their resilience shapes them into warriors of the soul. So, are you ready to understand the unstoppable force behind Sagittarius? If you are, stay with me until the end of this video. I promise, what you'll discover today might shift the way you see yourself and the people around you. And hey, if you love content about astrology, psychology, and personal growth, don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and share this video with someone who needs a little cosmic inspiration today. Now, let's begin. Have you ever felt trapped by expectations? By the silent rules society sets for you? Maybe you've wanted to break free, but didn't know how. That's where Sagittarius holds a secret. Their independence isn't just about choosing a different path. It's a way of thinking. A way of living that starts deep inside their mind. Imagine waking up each morning, knowing you owe nothing to expectations. You don't need to fit into a role others chose for you. You don't have to please anyone. That's the Sagittarius mindset. Their freedom isn't rebellion. It's self-trust. They trust themselves enough to walk roads no one else dares to. And that's not always easy. People will question you. People will tell you to settle down. But Sagittarius teaches us something powerful. When you choose your path, no matter how uncertain, you unlock your own potential. Think about your life. Where have you been following a script written by someone else? What dream have you buried, just to meet expectations? Maybe it's time to question that. Now, let's talk about something that seems simple, but changes everything. Energy. Sagittarius moves through life with a contagious energy that lights up any room. But here's the secret most people miss. That energy doesn't just happen. It's built from passion. It's built from a belief that life is worth chasing. When Sagittarius wants something, they go after it with a spark that doesn't fade. That spark becomes their fuel. It carries them through tough days. It carries them when others would give up. Have you ever worked beside someone who makes you feel like, yes, I can do this? That's the energy of a Sagittarius in action. It's not about being loud. It's not about pretending to be happy all the time. It's about a deep desire to experience life fully. Their energy is a lesson to us all. If you can find even one thing that excites your heart, one goal that wakes up your spirit, then you've found your fuel. And once you have that, nothing can hold you back. But energy needs direction. And that's where Sagittarius surprises everyone. Because beneath their playful side lies something most people overlook. A vision. They don't just chase today. They dream about tomorrow. They see what's possible when others can't. Maybe you've met people who get stuck in the now, who only focus on what's urgent. Sagittarius doesn't work that way. Their mind naturally expands forward. They picture futures. They set goals that seem impossible. And then, they start building towards them. It's like planting seeds for a tree you might not sit under. Sagittarius understands that great things take time. Their vision is their secret weapon. While others are running in circles, Sagittarius is quietly stepping toward the horizon. Ask yourself, what's your long-term vision? Not just your next task. Not just your next weekend. But your real dream. The life you want to build. If you don't have an answer yet, that's okay. Maybe today's the perfect day to start imagining it. But vision needs honesty to stay real. And here, Sagittarius teaches one of their most challenging lessons. They are honest. Sometimes painfully honest. They'll tell you the truth even when you don't want to hear it. Even when it hurts. Why? Because to Sagittarius, honesty isn't an attack. It's a form of respect. It's saying, I trust you enough to be real with you. In a world full of masks, where people say what sounds nice instead of what's true, Sagittarius stands out like a clear voice in a crowded room. Their honesty cuts through confusion. It ends misunderstandings before they start. It builds relationships where trust isn't a question, it's a foundation. But honesty comes with courage. It's not easy to say what's real. It risks rejection. It risks being misunderstood. So why do they do it? Because living authentically matters more to Sagittarius than being liked. And maybe that's a lesson worth learning. In your own life, where are you holding back your truth? Who are you trying to please at the cost of your authenticity? What would change if you spoke from your heart? You see, these four strengths, independence, energy, vision, and honesty, they're not just traits. They're choices. They're daily decisions Sagittarius makes to live boldly. And the best part? You don't have to be born under their star to use these lessons. You just have to choose to live a little more like them. Starting today. Have you ever felt the need to know more? Not just to learn facts, but to truly understand the world around you? That's where Sagittarius shows us something powerful. Their curiosity isn't just a hobby. It's their way of staying alive inside. Every question they ask, every new place they visit, every book they read, it all comes from something deeper. A hunger to grow. To expand. To never stop evolving. Think about children for a moment. How they ask why over and over again. Sagittarius carries that childlike wonder their whole life. But unlike a child, their curiosity is a conscious choice. It's how they face fear. Because for Sagittarius, the unknown isn't something to avoid. It's an invitation. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you chose to learn something just for the joy of it? Not for work. Not for survival. But to feed your soul? Because the truth is, curiosity isn't about information. It's about staying open. Open to new experiences. Open to different perspectives. Open to change. And when life challenges them, Sagittarius leans on another hidden strength. Commitment. It might sound surprising. You'd think someone who loves freedom would resist commitment. But Sagittarius shows us a deeper side. When they believe in something, they give it everything. It could be a dream. A person. A goal. When their heart says yes, there's no turning back. This kind of commitment isn't about being trapped. It's about choosing, over and over again, to stay aligned with what matters. To fight for what they believe in. To finish what they start. Think about your own life. What would change if you stopped doubting and fully committed to one goal? One person? One purpose? Sagittarius teaches that commitment isn't a cage. It's the bridge that takes your dreams into reality. And while walking that path, they carry something rare in today's world: sincerity. Have you ever met someone who doesn't pretend? Someone who shows up as they are, no masks, no games? That's Sagittarius at their core. Their sincerity isn't a tactic. It's who they are. And it's disarming. Because when someone is truly sincere, you feel safe to be yourself too. Their openness creates connection without effort. But sincerity comes with risks. When you show your true self, you risk being judged. You risk being misunderstood. Yet Sagittarius embraces that risk. Because pretending feels heavier to them than rejection. They'd rather be real and face consequences than live behind a mask. It's a brave way to live. Maybe it's a reminder we all need. To ask ourselves, where are we hiding? Who are we pretending to be? What would life feel like if you let people see the real you? And when challenges hit, as they always do, Sagittarius reveals one of their most unshakable weapons: their unyielding nature. When life pushes them down, they get back up. Not because they're stronger than everyone else, but because they refuse to stay down. Every failure, every heartbreak, every closed door, it all becomes fuel. They learn. They adapt. They keep moving. Have you ever seen someone walk through pain and still smile at life? That's Sagittarius resilience in motion. It's not about ignoring the pain. It's about believing the pain isn't the end of the story. Their unyielding spirit is born from something deeper than courage. It's trust. A belief that no matter how dark today feels, tomorrow holds possibilities. It's a mindset that says, I am not my failures. I am not my past. I am not what others expect me to be. And maybe that's the lesson we need most. Because life will knock us all down. What matters is, what happens next? Will you stay down? Or will you rise? Sagittarius shows us the answer. And in the next part of this journey, we'll dive even deeper. Because coming up next, 3 of the most surprising, and perhaps, the most controversial strengths of Sagittarius. Ones that reveal the hidden layers behind their unstoppable power. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Have you ever wondered why some people give without expecting anything in return? Not just gifts, not just time, but real pieces of their heart. Sagittarius does this almost without thinking. Their generosity isn't about being nice. It's not about earning praise. It's something much deeper. When they give, they're expressing who they are at their core. Giving, for them, is like breathing. It connects them to the people around them. It reminds them they're not alone in this world. Think about a time someone gave you something without asking for anything back. Maybe it was a kind word on a hard day. Maybe it was a hand reaching out when you were falling. How did that moment make you feel? Safe? Seen? Sagittarius creates those moments for people over and over again. Not because they have to, but because they understand something most people forget. Life is better when we share it. Generosity is their silent language of love. But generosity needs more than open hands. It needs an open heart. And that's where Sagittarius surprises people yet again. Their friendliness is more than small talk and quick smiles. It's their way of building bridges. Wherever they go, they carry this quiet power to connect people. Not just through words, but through presence. You know that friend who makes you feel at ease the moment you sit beside them? That's Sagittarius energy in action. They create a space where you feel safe to speak, safe to laugh, safe to be exactly who you are. In a world full of judgment and competition, their friendliness becomes a shelter. It reminds us that connection matters more than comparison. And when you're around them, you'll often find yourself thinking, maybe it's okay to let my guard down too. Because Sagittarius teaches that connection isn't something we chase. It's something we choose to create. But life isn't always simple. Problems appear. Obstacles block the path. And that's where Sagittarius brings out one of their sharpest weapons. Ingenuity. You see, they don't always follow the rulebook. In fact, many times, they rewrite it. While others get stuck asking, why isn't this working? Sagittarius is already thinking, how else can I do this? Their mind doesn't stop at what's obvious. They ask different questions. They look for hidden doors. And often, they find them. Picture someone standing in front of a locked gate. Most people will push, pull, maybe search for a key. Sagittarius? They're the one climbing over the wall or finding a tunnel underneath. Not because they want to rebel, but because they believe solutions exist beyond limitations. This ingenuity isn't just about solving problems. It's about transforming them. Turning obstacles into opportunities. Turning failure into a new direction. Imagine applying that mindset to your own challenges. What if every no could become a what else? That's the Sagittarian lesson. There's always another way forward. If you're willing to look for it. And to do that, they need one thing above all. Courage. Sagittarius carries a kind of boldness that's rare today. Not reckless courage. Not careless risk-taking. But a quiet inner voice that says, go anyway. Even when the outcome is unclear. Even when people doubt them. Even when fear whispers in their ear. Sagittarius steps forward. They believe life rewards those who move. Have you ever been frozen by fear? Stuck at the edge of a decision, afraid of choosing wrong? Sagittarius understands that feeling. But instead of waiting, they choose action. They step into the unknown. Because to them, risk is not something to avoid. It's something to embrace. And when they leap, even when they fall, they learn. And then, they leap again. Think about it. How much of your life has been paused by fear? How many dreams have you set aside, waiting for the perfect moment? What if that moment never comes? Maybe today. You can borrow a little Sagittarian boldness. Not to make reckless choices. But to simply take the first step. Even if you're afraid. Especially if you're afraid. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to move forward while fear is still there. These four strengths, generosity, friendliness, ingenuity, and boldness, aren't just personality traits. They're reminders. That life is meant to be shared. That connection is built, not found. That problems are puzzles, not stop signs. And that fear will always exist, but it doesn't have to lead. Sagittarius lives these lessons, not perfectly, but consistently. And through them, they show us that life isn't about waiting for the path to be clear. It's about walking forward. Even when it's not. But what if I told you that the most surprising insights are still waiting? Because in the next part of this journey, we'll unlock the final three strengths. And they're the ones most people never see coming. 3 weapons that reveal the hidden heart of Sagittarius. Some may challenge what you believe about strength itself. So stay with me. The best, and the most unexpected, is yet to come. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to make friends wherever they go? It's not luck. It's not some secret charm they're born with. It's a choice. Sagittarius makes that choice every day. Their social nature isn't about being popular. It's about something deeper. They know that every person carries a story. A lesson, a perspective worth hearing. And so, they listen. They smile. They open doors others keep closed. Think about the last time you met someone who made you feel welcome. Without even trying. Maybe it was a stranger who smiled at you on a difficult day. Maybe it was a friend who asked how you were, and actually cared about the answer. That's the Sagittarius effect. They build community wherever they are, not because they need attention, but because connection is their language. And connection doesn't always come easily. Life pulls people apart. Fear keeps us silent. Doubt builds walls. But Sagittarius moves past those walls, not by force, but by warmth. They remind us that every handshake, every conversation, every shared moment, can be a bridge to something bigger. But creating those bridges isn't about saying yes to everyone. Sometimes, it's about knowing when to step back. And that's where Sagittarius shows another hidden strength. Impartiality. At first, it sounds cold, neutral, detached. But in truth, impartiality is one of the most compassionate traits they carry. Because in a world clouded by emotions, opinions, and personal bias, Sagittarius chooses to step back and look clearly. When people argue, when problems arise, when decisions get messy, Sagittarius finds calm in the middle of the storm. They weigh facts, not just feelings. They listen, without judgment. It's not always easy. People want sides. People want reactions. But Sagittarius brings something better. Clarity. They choose fairness over approval, honesty over comfort. And in doing so, they become the person others trust when life gets complicated. Imagine having someone in your life who doesn't judge you, who sees both your mistakes and your potential. That's the role Sagittarius plays, again and again. And in their quiet way, they teach a lesson we often forget. Sometimes, helping others isn't about fixing their problems. It's about seeing them clearly, without judgment, without bias, and offering them the space to find their own answers. But clarity alone isn't enough when life hits hard. And that's when Sagittarius reveals one of their most powerful inner strengths. Resilience. This isn't the kind of resilience people like to talk about on social media. It's not glamorous. It's not easy. It's raw. It's real. It's getting knocked down by life and choosing to stand back up, even when everything hurts. Sagittarius doesn't avoid failure. They meet it. They sit with it. And then, they move through it. Each time they fall, they rise with a little more wisdom, a little more strength, a little more courage. Because to them, setbacks aren't signs to stop. They're reminders to grow. Have you ever faced a moment when giving up felt like the only option? When the weight of disappointment was heavier than your hope? Sagittarius knows that feeling well. But instead of letting it break them, they let it shape them into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who still believes in tomorrow. And maybe that's the most beautiful thing about resilience. It doesn't mean being unbreakable. It means choosing to rebuild every time you are broken. Sagittarius teaches us that you can survive failure and still smile again. You can lose everything and still believe that life holds more for you. But surviving change requires one more gift: flexibility. Life never goes according to plan. Dreams shift. People leave. Doors close. Sagittarius understands this better than anyone. But instead of fighting change, they embrace it. Flexibility isn't giving up. It's adapting. It's understanding that the path forward won't always look like you imagined. When life forces you to pivot, Sagittarius pivots with grace. They bend, but they don't break. They adjust, but they don't lose themselves. And that's a skill worth learning. Because too often, we hold on to old plans, old identities, old dreams, even when they no longer fit. Out of fear. Out of habit. But Sagittarius shows us the power of letting go. Of flowing with life instead of fighting it. Their flexibility isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's trusting that when one door closes, another will open. And until it does, you keep walking. Keep learning. Keep becoming. Think about your life right now. Where are you resisting change? Where are you clinging to what no longer serves you? Maybe today is the day you loosen your grip. Maybe it's time to allow yourself to bend, so you don't have to break. These four strengths, sociability, impartiality, resilience, and flexibility, might not sound as exciting as adventure or boldness. But in truth, they are the quiet powers that carry Sagittarius through every storm, through every loss, through every reinvention. And perhaps they can carry you too. But our journey isn't over yet. Because next, we'll uncover the final 3 weapons hidden deep inside the Sagittarius soul. 3 truths that are often misunderstood, and sometimes even denied. What you'll hear may surprise you. It may even challenge what you believe about strength itself. So stay with me. The final part of this journey is the most revealing of all. Some people move through life with speed. They learn fast, adapt fast, think fast. It might look like talent. But for Sagittarius, it's something more profound. It's a mindset. They're quick learners not because they're rushing, but because they're open. Open to changing their mind. Open to being wrong. Open to learning from anyone, anywhere, at any moment. Imagine walking into a situation you've never faced before. New job. New relationship. New challenge. Most people freeze. Sagittarius moves. They listen. They observe. And then, step by step, they learn. They don't waste energy resisting what they don't know. Instead, they embrace it. That's their secret. Learning, for Sagittarius, is about curiosity and humility. It's understanding that not knowing is not weakness. It's potential. Every mistake, every question, every experience, it's all part of their growth. And they grow fast, because they're not afraid to begin. Maybe there's something in your life right now holding you back. Something you tell yourself you can't do, because you're not ready, not trained, not good enough yet. But what if you could start before you're ready? What if learning could happen along the way? Sagittarius shows us it's possible. Because life rarely waits until you feel ready. And neither should you. And now, the final weapon. One that most people never associate with Sagittarius. Patience. It might surprise you. After all, Sagittarius is known for their energy, their speed, their hunger for movement. But deep inside lies a different kind of power. The power to wait. The wisdom to know when not to rush. The strength to let things unfold in their own time. In a world that celebrates urgency, patience feels like weakness. But Sagittarius knows otherwise. Patience is a conscious choice. It's the understanding that not all victories are instant. Not all dreams bloom overnight. Sometimes, growth happens in silence. In waiting. In trusting the process. Think about planting a seed. You water it. You nurture it. But you can't pull it from the earth to make it grow faster. Sagittarius understands that people, goals, healing, they all need time. And this patience doesn't mean giving up on action. It means knowing when action matters, and when surrender matters more. Maybe you're in a waiting season of your life right now. Waiting for answers. For change. For healing. It feels endless, I know. But Sagittarius reminds us, patience isn't about doing nothing. It's about believing that what you've planted will grow. Even if you can't see it yet. And so, as we come to the end of this journey, let's pause together. Let's breathe. Because what we've uncovered today isn't just about Sagittarius. It's about human nature. About inner strength. About the hidden weapons we all carry, whether we realize it or not. Maybe you saw yourself in these stories. Maybe you realized there's a Sagittarius in your life who's been teaching you these lessons all along. Or maybe, you're starting to understand that these weapons aren't locked inside a zodiac sign. They're waiting inside you too. Independence. Curiosity. Vision. Honesty. Resilience. Boldness. Generosity. Patience. They're not traits of a lucky few. They're tools anyone can learn to carry. Including you. If something inside you felt different today, if you found a piece of yourself in these words, don't let it fade. Hold on to it. Let it guide your next step. And if you're ready to keep exploring, If you're ready to understand more about yourself, your story, your potential, then stay with me. There are so many more journeys waiting. Subscribe to this channel if today's message spoke to your heart. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who needs a little reminder of their own inner strength. And tell me in the comments, which part of Sagittarius inspired you most today? Because trust me, this isn't the end. In future videos, we'll dive even deeper into the mysteries of the zodiac. The secrets of human psychology, and the small shifts that can change your entire life. I'll be here, ready to explore it with you. So, until next time, keep learning, keep believing, and keep walking your own path.